So first I would like to tell one thing. What is a culture? Culture is the way to living a life for a country or some group of bunch of the people. So that is a culture. So first thing, if we see, so the topic is that like which culture is good, Indian culture or Western culture. So I would like to tell something about that culture, then I will conclude in the end which culture is good, Indian culture or Western culture. So first of all, if we see in the Indian culture, so it is too old. It is the oldest culture of the world. Okay, if we can see, and wherever if we see in a world, so that is that is not that much old. That much is our culture. Our Indian culture is old. So that is the main thing, because it takes time to build the culture. So definitely there behind that there are a lot of things, like why it is the old, on which kind of all things are there. That is the one point. The second point is that if we see in our culture, that Indian culture, there is literature. Okay, there is a lot of literature about that culture, and each and everything about some Shastra, Upanishad, and lot of things are there. So in Indian culture, we generally we live our life according to that culture, according to their Shastra, according to guidance of Veda. So that is the main thing and good thing in our culture. And if we see in a Western culture, so there is not that kind of literature. They just think like that some scientist and some philosopher come and they give some philosophy and people start living like that. It is a very common thing. It is happening everywhere. So that is the second main difference is that. Third thing is that if we see the food differentiation between that foreign culture and the Indian culture, so it is a totally different. In India, we just generally we give that we give opinion to people like don't eat that what to say, that non-veg and that kind of things, and eat some limited food and that kind of thing. So we can see the reaction of that. We are very fit if we compare to the Western culture, because they are having whatever they are getting. Okay, and cause of that their what to say, their physique, and that they are not fit. Because if we see in America, that like a 10 or 4 or 5 people, they are unhealthy in their country. In the materialistic way, they have a lot of things, but that is body is the main thing, and they are not fit in that thing. Okay, another thing is clothing style. So generally whenever we talk about clothing, so women first come. We generally talk about that why women like wear that kind of cloth. So the major difference is that we can see, like for example, I'm reading some spiritual book, and I'm reading some newspaper. Okay, so after reading that spiritual book, I'll keep that book on a proper place or with respect. Okay, on the other hand, if I am reading newspaper, so I can throw everywhere, wherever I want to throw in at my home. So it happens with culture. Like in Indian culture, we respect women, so that's why we say that they should be covered. Okay, and in the Western culture, there is nothing like that. They just think like that it is okay, whatever you want, you can wear that. That's the main thing. Okay, another thing is that family. We can see that in our country we believe in like what to say, the joint family, united family, and they believe in nuclear family. And a lot of things that culture built actually from here. Okay, if you are living in a big family, so our thinking, our mentality is different, because we think about all over people, with all people. Okay, and whenever we are living in a nuclear family, so just we think about it together, like 2 people or 3 people, and we live like that. And cause of that mentality, our mentality built for all our society, like whatever we want, we can do that. And if we instead of that, if we have that kind of mentality, no, we have to think about all over people. So we think about all over the world. That's why we believe in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Okay, and if we talk about like some what to say, Britishers and the Americans, so they think like, they consider everyone like employee, like whatever we can get to yourself, that kind of thing. And in Indian culture, we want to spread some things, some good things and some knowledge and that kind of thing. So that is the major difference according to me. Another thing is that marriage system. So okay, so in Indian culture, that there is no love marriage. Okay, it is not our culture. It is not our culture. Okay, and in the Western culture, like they think like that. Yeah, we can choose our partner and it would be good. So we can see the reaction of that. On the other hand, some Indian people say that it is our culture, so it is not. They have a need to read first Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. Okay, in that they can know that there is Valmiki Ramayana. Actually, in the original Ramayana, there is a 24,000 shlokas. Okay, so that is not easy to read for anyone. If we read that Valmiki Ramayana, so we can understand in that how Lord Ram and Mata Sita, they got married. That is a clearly mentioned in that. But generally in this era, we don't want to read anything and we just make our mentality on something. So I think that is wrong. We should first know that and we should spread that the good thing. It would be better. That is the major difference in that. Another thing is that education system, which is a very good for every civilization or every culture. Okay, so we can see in our culture, it is very old. It is the oldest education system of the world, that Gurukula and that thing. Okay, from where we see that our literature and Vedas and that also, that is a mention that about education system which it used to be. And if we see in a Western culture, there is also the, what to say, that education system are there. But what is the difference between that? Actually, our education system, it used to be. Nowadays we are also using their education system. I'm talking about what is that Sanatana and that old education system about Gurukul. So there they used to be teach to the literature what is the bona fide. Okay, and on the other hand, if we see the Western culture, so sometimes some philosopher come and they give some different philosophy. After 100 years, they give some different philosophy and they are teaching to their children. So that is their system, and they don't know what is right, what is wrong. After some time after certain time, they change. Okay, on the other hand, if we see, so they are giving just that education for materialistic, for earning money. They don't give education to how to live life, how to be happy, that kind of thing. For them, we are living here. That is the main thing. So we can see there. So the conclusion is that I gave a lot of points here. Okay, so according to me, definitely Indian culture is the best culture, and we should follow it. Thank you for listening me patiently.